It's got a little switch.
Oh, yeah, that.
Found out part of the day. Very quiet. Hey.
Yeah.
They maintain don't take it.
We got one out of yesterday's packet. Oh, and so,
I was gone. So,
got revised on the top.
yeah.
Right. I'll send my. With the other packet.
Or move J to B. Move J to A.
J to A. Very good, John. We'll call it June 23rd, 2026, city council meeting to order. We'll remind everybody to silence your cell phones. Ms. Sherman's going to lead us in opening prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Please. Heavenly Father, we come to you with thanks this evening. Thanking you for allowing us to be here today. But I'm asking that you will direct this meeting so that it's held in a safe and orderly fashion. Asking that you will direct our thoughts. Help us with our decision making so that we can make the best decisions possible for the city of Perry and the residents. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Secretary. Grateful to come to the please.
Councilor Barnes.
Here.
Councilor Hampton,
Here.
Councilman Woodball. Vice Mayor Landry. Here. Mayor Kitcher.
Here. Item number 3, approval of items on the consent agenda. Approval to read by title only, resolution 2026-22, resolution 2026-23, ordinance 1061 and ordinance 1060. Have a motion,
Motion.
second?
Councilmember Bronze?
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson?
Yes.
Councilmember Blumenthal? Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Gentry?
Yes. Item number 4, receiving requests from the general public. Anyone wants to speak, Santina? Come on up. You got 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the council. My name is Santina Deming, and I live here in Perry at 615 North Jefferson Street. 2 weeks ago, I stood before this council and I expressed my concerns regarding the block cameras that have been installed throughout our city. At that meeting, I asked for transparency, accountability, and public discussion regarding how these cameras were authorized and whether their continued operation is in the best interest of Perry's residents. To date, those concerns have not been addressed. Over the past 2 weeks, these cameras have continued operating, and data on the movements of Perry residents has continued to be collected. That means another 2 weeks of surveillance has transpired without public discussion by this council regarding what data is being collected, who has access to it, how it is being used, and what safeguards exist to protect and prevent abuse of the system. By choosing not to discuss this issue publicly, this council is effectively allowing the program to continue without scrutiny, while the collection of residents' data continues every single day. Every day that these cameras remain operational is another day that information is being gathered on the people you were elected to represent. I'm once again asking this council to publicly comment on this issue. Do you support these cameras? Do you believe the public was adequately informed before they were installed? Do you believe the current level of transparency is sufficient? And finally, how is our information being protected from misuse and unauthorized access by other parties? These are all very reasonable questions, and we deserve public answers from the elected officials who represent us. Ultimately, I believe that these cameras should be removed. I do not believe that the potential benefits outweigh the privacy concerns created by a system that continually collects information on movements of law-abiding citizens. And if this council believes otherwise, I urge you to defend your stance publicly with a full explanation of why this level of surveillance is necessary and why we should accept the continued collection of our data in violation of our constitutional rights. I respectfully ask that this matter be placed on the agenda of the next council meeting for formal discussion and vote on the future of the program, including the removal of the cameras and termination of any associated agreements. I would also like to once again raise the issue of meeting times. Discussions like this demonstrate why public participation matters, yet meetings continue to be held at 4 p.m. when many residents are still at work. As I mentioned last time, I again had to leave work early today just to be here and give you my comments. Many residents simply do not have that option. If this council truly values transparency and public engagement, I respectfully ask that you reconsider your standing meeting time and move meetings to a later hour that is more accessible to working families and individuals. The residents of Perry deserve answers, they deserve transparency, and a meaningful opportunity to participate in these decisions that affect their rights and their community. Thank you so much for your time.
And we will discuss it next meeting.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Definitely, I agree with you on the meet times, they are too early for some people. Ma'am,
And I'm gonna be option to change it.
sure, absolutely.
A motion that we start meeting at 5 o'clock. I agree that maybe someone might start attending the meetings. If we move meeting time to 5 p.m. In the past, we have had no one attending the meeting, so there was no need for us to be in the way. But we will, depending on the council, what they go. We will change the meeting time. So it's my motion that we start. Now,
Have a motion to change the meeting time to 5 p.m. Do I have a second?
I'd like to hear the manager's comments on it first.
back and forth twice now. I mean, if more people start showing up, I'm fine with moving it to 5. But like she said, bid it at 5, there was nobody, bid it at 4, there was nobody. If more people, if we have turnout like this, needs to be at 5.
Sometimes people can't, people want to come, they don't have to come to every meeting, they just want to come to one, maybe 2 of these. Some can't come. At least say the point of it.
For a whole year, we had one person showing up.
We have to pay every time staff will show up.
They no longer require the staff to come, though. Am I correct? I mean, I'm sorry, not all of our staff, but it used to be a time that the tables were full of directors and administrators. And now it's quite reduced.
It shouldn't be overtime, they should be given time. The week,
Compounding.
yes.
What do you think, Mr. Bill?
Matter of minute. Motion, we need a second. Second. Thank you.
I got a motion and a second to change the meeting times to 5 o'clock from 4 o'clock.
Councilor Bronze,
Yes.
Councilor Hampton,
Yes.
Ms. Boss absent, Vice Mayor Landry.
Yeah.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. 5 o'clock it is. That'll start the first meeting of July. 6, is it?
13.
Oh, think of the wrong meeting.
Have to come from the town.
Hey,
You don't have to get up early.
that's right.
When would that be? July 13th?
I think it's
The
under,
second.
Okay.
I got it mixed up with the county meeting.
I'll be 14.
14. All right, this gonna, and the plot camera's gonna be on the agenda for same meeting, so.
Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else that would like to speak for the general public or anything that's not on the agenda? Hearing and seeing no one. Do you still like, we don't have any bids or RFQs? All right, we're gonna rearrange the agenda a little bit. We're gonna move 6J to the top of the agenda. Yeah, 6J is council to discuss Perry Women's Club and Dream grant application and council to take any action deemed necessary. Welcome.
And this is my ever person council meeting. I am Allison Ritter and I reside in the county of 2436 Green Farm Road. But I'm also president of the Perry Women's Club at 502 North Jefferson Street. I am coming to ask about eligibility for our club to be able to get the Dream grant. It is a building that is used for the community. We do have people that reserve it and rent from us. We have Super Pup in there right now doing the training. So many people do use our building a lot.
Sure.
And so that's one of the things, and we have been in the past, we did do a sign a few years ago, the metal black sign. And we were awarded a grant several years ago for that. So my question is, are we eligible? Or what do we need to do to focus on that?
I'm not 100% sure.
I know.
Well, it's,
It's
it's.
gonna be a research question.
They're building on city land or all over the city or?
That building's on city land.
Yeah, we're on city land, it's in the CRA.
That's,
I got you. It is, it's in the CRA.
Yeah, it's unusual, it's, you know, for our commercial purposes, we do rent the building.
Right, you want to do another sign or something?
We're wanting to paint the building
Okay.
and bring it up to modern standard.
Sure.
Make it look better and pretty for the people that are coming in that do see it as they're passing by on the roadway. And as they are into our building. So if there's paint chips and we need to repaint the railings and repaint doors and we want to repaint the building a different color. Just to make it look nicer.
Make it look good.
Make it look nicer And at some point, probably replacing Bonnie. To be honest, but yeah, that would be extremely helpful to us in being able to pay for this stuff.
Y'all need permission to apply for the trade grant or?
We're just checking availability because he wasn't sure about it, and we just wanted to come and make sure before we applied for it and went through all of that.
I initially said no because it wasn't a commercial or
Yeah.
business. And then she brought up hosting community events and things like that. And y'all are the CRA board, so
He
Figured
said,
I'd bring it.
"Well, bring this to you guys to make sure you are eligible before I go ahead and fill out the application and do all that stuff."
I did do some research. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
We do have a policy. You hear me?
Yeah.
We do have a policy. That you have 501c.
Yeah, we are now, yes.
That we do not provide employment.
Okay.
That is my understanding.
that was,
Even with the train grant?
that was more like giving direct funding for soccer teams and things like
Yeah.
that. We wouldn't do. This is a different program.
We do, we do pay sales tax on these rentals as well, and taxes and stuff on it as well, and it helps to keep our lights on, our bills going, and, pay for electricity.
And we also, we've had many other policies. I'm asking for donations. I know this is a grant, but I don't see a difference.
No difference, okay.
I mean, we've had senior center. We've had Jurgens, community kitchen, so. But I don't know what the other council members think. But I know we have a policy.
No, I know it's probably a tricky, sticky situation too.
But this money comes from somewhere else, doesn't it? The CRA?
Property taxes within the CRA.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know if it was state funded.
It's all county, city property taxes based on the increase from 30 years ago, whatever that date was that they started the CRA.
Yes.
Where's your microphone, John?
31 years ago.
Did we donate that building to them?
I don't know how that deal worked. I know we own the land. I think they own the building.
Yeah,
So I've always heard.
The building, 99, at least like $1, if I remember correctly.
I may be wrong, but I think I heard it got moved in there back in the 50s.
I'm not sure where it stands right now.
Got what?
Did it get moved there?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was still there.
Maybe it was.
I think I don't know, it's still there, how long it's been there?
I may be also able to speak on something.
Well, Nancy can say something.
Nancy Gohane, I'm 1015 North Jefferson, Perry, Florida, 32347. That building is over 100 years old.
Yes.
It is, and it was started right there.
Oh, it was, okay, it was the
Yes.
next place.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, 1914.
Okay.
There is documentation.
Gotcha.
You could probably get it to the Historical Society, and I have some records at home myself. And the only reason I know this is my home was built in 1914.
Gotcha.
And it was, Miss O'Quinn was very Bessie, the older woman. And of course, there were so many that went back in time to get this all started. Helen Scales, Janie Hamilton, just goes on and on. So it was 1914 that was originally started and built right there. There are records on it.
It is a historical building and it's over 100 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
So
So,
I apologize. No, just in preparation for today's meeting, I was trying to research regarding women's clubs,
Yes.
civic clubs. Even though there's an outstanding lease with the, I guess, 100 years plus.
I know.
And apparently, traditionally, things like women's clubs or facilities are broadly classified as commercial property under Florida zoning and real estate frameworks, even though it operates as a nonprofit. There are commercial activities like you all
Yes, I do.
renting,
I do rent.
until, I don't know, do you all pay any taxes? Cause it seems like since October 2025, there's been a repeal of demanding it for leaseholders, but if you're not paying active leasing, I don't know if that
I
impacts
have
you.
to check with Cindy on that, because she's our treasurer.
And so, I mean, there's a means test if it's predominantly or exclusively used for civic purposes, that, you know, it would be up to you all, but it's not considered residential as opposed to.
Residential or mixed use.
So it just seemed like the research I looked at did not forbid it from being, used or described as commercial, or mixed use or industrial property, because it was a nonprofit. And I would guess the differential, if you want to look at, I think Councilman Hampton's statement about there being a
Mhm.
specific exclusion of charitable giving
Yeah.
towards nonprofits, that I don't know if there needs to be a differentiation, but since this also, it is a nonprofit that
Right,
also
it is a
can be a
nonprofit.
commercial, that if the council wanted to permit, because of your location in the
Yes,
CRA
yes,
zone, as a commercial entity, not as a nonprofit, I feel like that can pass the test. So say
Okay.
if senior center was here, and I think they do rent, I'm not sure, I know there's different
No.
organizations that work out of there, and then you have the transportation system that seated. If the senior center is in the CRA district and wanted to potentially apply, I believe their commercial purpose would allow for them to be eligible. It doesn't mean that you have to give it to it. You still may say, well, no, depending on however many people have asked, we don't wanna go into this vein. I would say it would be different if United Methodist Church applied,
Yeah, they would.
because that has some other restrictions. But I would say if Jerkins school or center was downtown in the CRA, that they would,
Yeah.
because they also rent out and have commercial things happening there, that the commercial aspect and civic part would be, they would be eligible to apply as commercial, but they would not be eligible to ask this city for a donation or something that seems in kind. But it is a thin line, and it could
It
be a
is.
slippery slope, so just because they're eligible doesn't mean that this council or whoever decides to say, yes, we're going to give that grant. So I just wanted to let you know, that's what I found in the history when it came to things like civic clubs, women's clubs, and things of that nature. So it's up to you, but I think they are eligible, but whether or not you provide the grant, is still like another step.
I'm
I
thinking,
guess when it comes to applications, I guess anybody can apply.
Yeah, I was checking eligibility before.
If it's commercial, right?
Yeah.
If it's commercial.
Yeah, I can fill out the application, but I just wanted to go off this before we wanted to be sure first.
Before we went through the trouble.
Before I went through the trouble of filling it out, getting everything you needed.
I've never seen one of these applications, might be lengthy, I don't know.
It's a 2 4-pager,
Yeah, we
and
just-
then there's
y'all saw it a month ago. or
and
6
then I
weeks ago.
have to packet.
I'm talking about not to that one.
Yeah, I just did it probably 6 weeks ago.
It's in your packet.
But what's in it?
So,
Application.
Green grant.
They didn't send one, but.
No, we haven't sent an application because we're questioning the eligibility, and I wanted to make sure before I went through all that we were eligible and that it was okay.
Fill it out. It's gonna fill it out. It'll be worth your time.
Diane, you'll fill it out? Okay.
Fill it out. Don't know if that's wrong.
Don't know what I'm trying, okay?
So I didn't hear,
Is that the parking lot?
maybe. I'm not sure they think all over the place, so. Maybe sit in the house, stuck in the fence or something. I didn't know there was state packets, you know, until we got here tonight. I found this one on my shoe rack also.
This
So
one,
that
keep it.
was the packet,
That was yesterday.
so, anyway. What do you think, Mr. Bill?
Want me to fill out the application, just give it a shot and see what
You got
happens?
good chances anybody else.
Okay, I'll go ahead and fill out the application, and I just wanted to make sure before I went through all that.
But we're not guaranteeing.
No, I know it's not
Just like
guaranteed
you Don't
anything,
put
but-
it in, you're not gonna get it for sure, so.
So,
Fill it out.
okay, I'll go ahead and fill it out and get it in town, and do I need to be present at the next meeting?
Sure, got it.
I'll call. At the next one.
I'll have to remember that too. All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, agenda item 6A, council to discuss Warner Lift Station bids and approve notice of award, council taking action deemed necessary. That is on my packet.
You need the bid tabulation review again?
No, I'm just gonna give them the person. Okay. I think the tabulation should be in that letter. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, council. Think about 4 weeks ago, we received bids for Warner Lift Station. There were 2 bids that were received. One was the Royal American Construction and one, RDR, Vigrons. And, we reviewed the bid, they look good. We had an additive alternate about odor control that when we originally asked for the pump station upgrade, the odor control was not in the grant application. But, during the design phase, I think some of the council member asked for the odor control, so we put it in. There are unfortunately not enough money at this point to do the odor control, but there are enough money to do the lift station. Now, before I say the odor control, originally, we were doing this lift station part of a SRF grant. And we were fortunate enough to get the RIF grant on that, so this is 100% grant money. So we have the application, we have the design already done, so we submitted an application a week ago. And we'll know in August, city have a good chance of getting it funded. So at that time, we will change over back in the odor controls. But all the lift station and everything that's within the grant and you have enough funds available, you may have a little bit of fund left over. After we do the pump station upgrade. So we gave you a couple of options in there. You do not have to make a decision on whether we take, right now, what we are asking them you to do is to do the base bid. And then once we know a little more funding, by August, we may add it back in, or the city has the option to pay the difference, and put that under control. We are doing, the whole building will be sealed. And they have some deodorizer they use, so we'll continue to use that. So my recommendation is at least go ahead and award to RPI the lift station upgrade. And during the course, hopefully we'll find out if we have additional grant from SRF to fund this, only the odor control part of it. Okay.
How much of a difference would there be if we went ahead and did the odor control when you're doing the upgrade, opposed to doing it later? Is it gonna be?
So the fortunate thing about it is SRF grant we'll know in August. And this project is for a year. So during that time, we can have that in,
You would know.
we'll know. If we don't get it, we still can talk to the contractor. There are certain items that we can, if the city has to pay, there are a few things we can delete and the city staff can do, like there's a road that needs to be built. So we can value engineer at that time and says, hey, this is what the final number is gonna look like. But my suggestion would be is, well, let's wait till at least in August we see. It's a 1-year project, so you have some time to talk to the contractor. So if not, and we have some other funding working and we just, it's up to the council. If you wanna go ahead and award that, you can. It's 100,000 something different. 160 or something like that. But my recommendation would be is let's wait till August and then if there is an issue. And if the city didn't get it, then we'll deal with it.
When you say if there is an issue, and it's been the issue there for a while, is the odor,
Sure. So
and
Good.
and if we're going to do it, then we should do it all at one time.
correct. So the same contractor will do it. It depends upon if the city gets a grant, then grant pays for it, or the city pays for it. So, the time frame is, I don't think it's gonna change much. So you're not losing anything. You can award it today with the order control in, or you can wait till the grant is approved and award it that in like 3 months. So it's up to you.
Those are in the same day, right?
Yeah, so he has, in his bid, we can also ask him, says, hey, if you can hold your price. I don't expect him not to hold it, because it's like additional work for him. So, my suggestion would be is to do that.
Another question. And when we started this process, was this station supposed to be rebuilt? And
So, yeah,
you changed it,
so, yeah,
why?
so the reason being is you have a big pond on the side. And the existing, in order to move it to the other side and dig a, to build a new pump station, it would have costed about 1.5 times this. The reason being is the lift station, the way where it's located and the condition, you would have a lot more. You have to build another building, you have to build, when we got into it, the soil conditions are very bad in that area because you have a pond and you have to, re-water all that. We had, back in the old days, I think, they had a lot of issues in that area for dewatering, so this cost would have gone 3 times. What we are doing is this, the whole pump station will be lined, all the opening will be sealed. So, sealing everything, and you will have, new roof, new paint, everything. So I think you will be very pleased. And Bill can, talk more about it. I mean, in the past, when they would try to de-water and we have rock and all that, so there's a lot of unknowns. And we didn't, RIF had a time frame also, we didn't want to jeopardize it with them. And the need for odor control, regardless, we refurbish it or put a new one, is the same.
Mitchell, did you have any questions?
My concern has always been Ernestine Mitchell, 1218 on Barton Street, 32317. My concern has been that it's been years that the odor was just horrible. There is money going over to Plantation and other areas for waterworks and all of that great stuff, and pipes have been laid in other areas. There have been citizens that come to this meeting in our area in Bel Air that have had pipes that's been there since the 60s. The pipes that's in that area, you thump it, it may just disintegrate because they're so bad. And so my concern is that it's not just that particular area, it's a lot of areas back there in the neighborhood that needs to be funded to get those pipes done. But that is a major concern, that when you get to that area, it smells up the entire section. Some of the kids coming out the door that live over in Perrytown, trying to play outside, and that smell just whiffs, and it's very strong. And to me, that should have been the first thing that should have been addressed. And of course, that building, I think, was built in the 50s or 60s. It's a very old building. My concern to the city would be, why wasn't it a concern that was addressed before anything else had been addressed? When you're giving millions of dollars, I think the city has been given over $100 million in grants for waterworks, for pipes, and for all of that great work. Why wasn't that one of your first considerations? Because it is a major concern for the entire community.
Okay, so I think very, very good question. So let me answer it. And quick. So that money is there. We haven't touched it. This is, so when we did the overall project, the $100 million is still there. You can still use that money. So that was after this grant was awarded as part when we were doing overall the city need analysis. So we did several different things. So Warner Lift Station was part of the SAM for SRF funding. So the one which they're going to decide in April. And we were fortunate enough to get RIF funding, but there was a limitation of how much we were going to get from RIF. So that will do your pump station. The grant we applied to do the pump station and the water control. We did the engineering on it, it will be decided in August. If you get the funding or not. If the water controls are there, the $100 million, we haven't started anything on it. We can add that into it and work that way. So this is the reason, otherwise I would have recommended you go ahead and, the order is that you have $1 million grant, you can pay a portion of it and get it done that way. So those two are still in works, so that's why I was saying, so it's gonna get it done one way or the other, either city pay for it or grant pay for it. That way.
I think we need to go ahead and include it.
It's up to you. If you want to include it, then it's included in the project.
He's saying we can't include it later. It's gonna get done either way. We're just gonna wait and see who's paying for it.
So I'm understand.
Yeah, and I wanna make it clear, this is the most important lift station. It's the first one we're doing.
Yeah.
It was our first application, to any of them. So we're working on the priority first, or trying to.
And something, so we gave you three options. You can vote on it now to pay for it and do it that way. I'm perfectly fine. The only thing will be is then the grant, since you already voted ahead of time and the grant is not here yet, you're not likely they will say no.
If we go ahead and do it now, we don't stand a chance of getting the money in August, so.
Yeah, this is just the money part. It's who pays for it.
We're doing it either way. He's just saying, don't go ahead and approve the extra money to do the odor control.
So what do you need from us?
So we just need you to accept the bid and authorize John and the mayor to sign the contract.
Motion. Was this like a big?
RPI.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Councilman Bryant,
Yes.
Councilman Hampton,
Yes.
Councilman Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
And item D. Public hearing, council hold a public hearing for the purpose of considering approval of the city manager's recommended capital improvement program for fiscal year 2026 through 2031. Look it over, I'm good with it, or just a living document year to year. Was published in the paper.
I would just like to see the roads. The additional streets that you pay for.
With one,
The additional streets that you say you pay for.
I haven't there.
It's that.
Yeah, it said various streets repaving based on condition.
And, but most of this will be taken care
This on streets, right?
and, yeah, but that's streets again.
Next one. What makes different, it's right there, streets, and it's got ones listed that are scheduled.
Percent to do well, they sure that.
Yes.
Those are streets you speak.
We've
Those
got,
are already paid for.
we got Stevens Street, Park Street, Willis Street,
Those are
Bishop Boulevard, Duval, and
So what do you ask?
She's talking about how we work off the priority list. When the city does it themselves.
Yeah.
We just do that.
those
here.
are.
we have to start with the worst ones and go from there. Makes sense.
So you're asking it to show the others that.
Not tonight, not tonight.
We'll do that during budget whenever we approve what gets done.
When are we going to start on the budget?
Me and Carly started today, but y'all will start the first meeting in July.
That's good.
Well, Carly, I started today, Carly started weeks ago.
Anybody have any more discussion? Do you want for the public have anything they would like to discuss about the budget?
My budget, yeah,
Let me see, I can apologize.
I'm okay.
What?
Everybody else can do it with us.
Nancy Go paid number 1015 North Jefferson, Perry, Florida, 32347. I have read and kept up with this. Whatever it is you're doing the budget for the 5-year period. I've seen some changes. I go deep line by line by line by line. And I feel like anyone that's interested in this whole community needs to realize the amount of time that's been put into it, the changes that have gone into it. And I applaud you. That's a tough job. And I think that what he has done is important to notice because it doesn't just happen overnight.
I don't know if y'all remember the old ones, but it was just a list of like 8 items. The old CIP was just a list of about 8 to 10 items.
Well, I hope you got good input from your department heads. That helps.
Well, it says a 5-year plan, it's living, they can change from one year to the next.
It's a 5-year wish list to me.
But I'm saying that change, you can move around. They'll see it happen a few times. So anyway, is there any more discussion from anyone? Not the board member? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, that was just the public hearing. The next one will be a resolution, so you don't,
That's true.
you can approve the next item.
Agenda item 6C, resolution number 26-22, reference to city manager's recommended 5-year capital improvement program. Resolution of the city program for fiscal year 2026 to 2031. Resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, approving and adopting the city manager's recommended 5-year capital improvement program for fiscal years 2026 through 2031. Now be the time for a motion. Motion to approve.
Second. Yeah, you approve the rest.
Councilor Bryant,
Yes.
Councilor Hanson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Agenda item 6D, council to discuss approval of FEMA generator grant. Council will take any action may necessary.
This is finally the grant after Idalia, Helene, Idalia. I think it's 11 generators around critical city facilities. Should be a separate, it's a 75%, 25% local match, but Florida Commerce is supposed to be taking care of the 25% local match. And they're moving just as slow as FEMA.
We're in our 3rd year now, coming up on our 3rd year since, failure.
Should have another one about a year from now, I would probably assume, for what, 4 more generators? 3.
In fact, so this is fairly normal for FEMA and HMDP. So, you know, I'm in Panama City and we're still doing works till 2018, so we're from Hurricane Mike. I'll just say, this is a really good thing. So you got some critical generators. And so I'll just say, go ahead and, you know, this is a very good project. So that will allow you to have a bunch of generators in your pump station. I think you have city generator and then you have others. So And if you get it 25% on Florida Commons, that's almost free. So I would say it's a no-brainer.
Need authorization to sign.
Motion to approve.
Have a second? Very same.
Councilman Bronze,
Yes.
Councilman Henson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Agenda item 6E, council to discuss 108 Magnolia Road and council will take any action may necessary. Well, little I've heard it's, maybe a little complicated.
Yes, for this one, then getting it, or did I ask for it? I might ask for
I think we discussed it at some point. You and I discussed it, and I think you put it on the agenda, but at any rate. It's on here, we're gonna discuss it, it's, hey. Tell everybody what. What's going on
it.
there.
I don't know the lady's name, but it's been in code enforcement with lanes up to. Over 80,
$89,000.
but the lady is deceased, and I believe it's her daughter that's living out of it like that. And we get complaints all the time from the neighbors, but until we start a new process, just add more fines to it every day, you're gonna get
Who's
anyway.
putting the tarps on?
I was, only,
I believe it's the
daughter.
The daughter.
The daughter. Now, the house is on a lady's name that is deceased.
I believe so.
Yes, the owner of the home is deceased. There's no probate action that's started on this property. I understand the person who's been dwelling there has dealt with stints, incarcerated. And so there are times where the house has no one there, but the picture is not really doing justice. This has been a subject of code enforcement several times. I did take the liberty of asking our code enforcement officer, Bruce Griffin, to be here with the file, if you all had any questions. And we're getting a lot of complaints, and on that particular neighborhood, there's maybe 2 or 3 other properties that are definitely not as bad as that, but they are coming into compliance. And the people in this neighborhood have great pride and want their neighborhoods to look nice. And this is just continuing to be a problem. I'm also sort of concerned that there's a dog being held there. Sometimes there's a person there and sometimes not, a pit bull or something.
Multiple dogs.
Multiple dogs? And so when I was asked as to what could we do, regarding enforcing the lien, and also, there's other opportunities here, in which I sent John a memo May the 12th, and he copied it and placed it in your files to review, that, we have, you know, a number of properties have liens on them. Very few may have as many as this, but this is also continue to be a worsened nuisance. Even people who are trying to maybe sell or rent property in that neighborhood are having a problem when they turn into that neighborhood. That's one of the first houses you see. So, maybe I'll start with the easiest to the hardest. So the easiest, which is the third one, is that, because there has been multiple repeat violations, that we could do what's called a nuisance abatement, where the city could possibly go in and clean up the property. Even though I'm hearing that's probably impossible, but say conceptually, we can clean up the property without going through demolition, which is almost every property we ever have. And that, going to the second, or we can go through demolition, which is a process that we have been doing quite often with Board of Adjustments, more often in the last year and a half, and you all have increased the budget for demolition because it is an unfit and dangerous dwelling, and like I shared in the memo, would you mind coming forward, Bruce, with the files? That I did have, after talking to Officer Griffin, had him to go ahead because he is by our LDR section, the person that can make those decisions. He did place on the property basically what tantamount to condemnation of the property and that there should not be anyone living in there. Typically, when someone is living in the property, it has been in the past, like an older person who's being taken advantage of, maybe they're renting and things, and Officer Griffin, I've seen him, you know, talk to different social services agency to try to place that person somewhere. This is a situation where the person who's living there is related to the owner who's now deceased, but has made no attempts or effort to go through any process to take responsibility for the property. It, like I said, sometimes leaves it because of her incarceration. And it is a situation where homestead is no longer attached because the deceased person, because it's deceased owner, that we do have a third step, which I don't say that it's as complicated, but is definitely much more work, in that the city could rightfully foreclose or file a petition to foreclose on the property. So whereas in the past, if we demolish the property, the ownership remained with whoever the property owner is, and we can put a lien money that they owe us for demolishing the property. Now, whether or not they ever pay it, I have no idea. I imagine not. But in this case, not only could we demolish it, but we can take possession, I believe, victoriously through a petition for foreclosure on the property. And although we're not in the habit of trying to build up surplus property, right now, right now, the particular property is supposedly estimated by the tax appraiser's website at $66,450, the building is. But again, I know those pictures are hard to see. I don't know that it was still, if it really still is that valuable. And our lien is $89,000. Officer Griffin can speak to it or answer any questions, but he's estimating because of what's on the property, that it'll take up to $20,000 to demolish and remove what's on the property. And when it comes to filing fees for foreclosures, it's $905. So it's not a quick process, but we, as a city, do stand to at least gain something in adding it as a property. And this house, unlike the other houses that have come before the board in the last year, has been the only one that hasn't even tried to be in compliance, and no other property is situated like this property, which, you know, it really actually, outside of that home, is really seemingly a nice middle-class neighborhood. But this particular property continues to stand there with all this junk, dogs, potentially drug abuse situations happening in the property. Is just a big problem. We keep getting complaints. So as promised in the past, when we talked about foreclosing or going through the finances of putting liens on property and enforcing them, that we're bringing back to the council to decide if that's an action we want to take.
So that file's just on this land, just on this house?
Just this house.
Wow.
And I have some updated pictures. The actual cost right now, there is a lien for $89,100 that we filed in February, since February of last year. Since then, there's been accrued another $24,750 in fines at $50 a day. So it's $113,850 that's accrued on property right now. And these are pictures that the chief and I took last month.
They haven't had utilities in that house in forever.
No sewer, no electric, on again, off again water.
The water, if they have water, usually they connect to the restaurants on the other side of the fence with water hose, and we go and remove it.
Generator or whatever for power.
There's
Not even that.
No power.
My problem with this is that we're going to demolish this home. Granted, it looks off on the outside to be cleaned up. But we have homes that are far worse than this home.
I don't know of any city that works at this one, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Just down homes. We just speaking of the home, not the objects or whatever. So now sad. Yes, and money in my district, we have some that's worse. We wanted to. We wanted to put someone out. Well, it doesn't, we have insurance, so. Does not have a place to live. We're charging them $50 per day. We can't afford to even get the water cut on. So what is $550 per day? Who is that helping? I know we're not gonna get paid for that. I agree, we need to get it cleaned up. But I don't agree with, demolishing the home. Maybe some other, living relative could take that on and get it up with whatever, I just.
Well, 50 days is our ordinance, isn't it?
That was done by the magistrate.
Magistrate, okay.
Repeated code violations. This property is in violation of city code since 2017.
I believe the other family member is in either prison or in jail right now, the only other one that could assist.
And so everyone's clear, the house is condemned, so right now, no one, even for their own safety, is supposed to be in the home. And like I said, typically in the past, we tried to work in, helping someone find another place to be, but legally and, for their own safety, there's not so much, they're supposed to be in the home.
Who has condemned, maybe I understand.
Mr.
I condemned it.
Okay, there's something wrong with the.
When the chief and I were there last month, there is so much trash stacked up against the front of the house. It goes from the concrete base to the soffit. Probably 3-4 foot deep, 20 feet wide. You can't even get into the front doors of the house. You have to go around the back of the house to enter the house.
And it's probably, yeah,
There's
roots leaks.
there's raw garbage all over the place. It smells horrible. The neighbors constantly complain of rats around the property. She goes out at night and collects garbage from around the city and brings it to her house. There's piles of used concrete in the driveway. Big chunks of concrete.
She's still doing that?
Yes.
She was incarcerated.
She on again, off again incarcerated.
Okay,
She's not
okay.
always incarcerated, it's on again, off again incarcerated for drug offenses. And this has been a problem since I started here, at least off here in 2007. Okay, this place has been like this.
What is your recommendation?
I'm taking it for the BOA to seek demolition of the house. In August, I've already sent out the first letters. First letters have gone out to her. The problem is the cost of demolition because of all the garbage inside the house and outside the house would be $20,000 to $25,000 just for that house alone.
See, the realtors come here.
I have,
Well, I'm just letting Mr. Griffin finish and we'll.
we have renters all around this house and they're complaining on it. So obviously the realty companies are complaining to me, wanting me to do something with it because their renters are complaining. And I have 3 other houses on this street that are in the process of fixing stuff up and coming into compliance. She does nothing. She does nothing. She ignores all the
She's not
notices.
going to, if it's going on that long, she's not going to.
No. There's not been any property taxes paid on this property in probably 12, 14 years. And she's now responsible for it because I turned the property back into property appraiser's office when I found out that Miss Odom was deceased, has been deceased for years. So the free taxes don't apply anymore in the house. So I turned it back into property appraiser's office, notified them of it. So she's now 2 years behind on her property taxes also.
Someone couldn't fix that.
But this house cannot be fixed, man. This house
It's
cannot be
good
fixed. It can't be fixed. It is that far gone. It would have to be written to bare concrete walls, inside and out.
Some of this question.
I don't have a question, I'm sorry, my name is
Come on,
Oreo
please.
Blaylock. Yes, could you come on up and give me your name here? Address. Sorry, thank you. My name is Oreo Blaylock, I live at 136 LaCour Lane. I pass by this house every day, and I will say, the pictures that were up there were true, but I would say, probably within the last week, it's clean. I don't know if you've been by there, but I was really shocked. The whole yard is clean. They built some kind of plywood, makeshift closing for the garage area, but it's clean. I just wanted, I thought that was important for you to know. Yes. That the yard is clean.
I was by there today.
I think there's more than one house.
All they have done for this house, put some blue tarps over the garbage, bring it up. Not clean. I was by there today, 1 o'clock this afternoon. Smart wait,
Oh, I know.
there's several houses on the street.
And these people will be.
Yeah, there's one I see far from it, it's good. Not as bad, but it's in the same ballpark.
The one that you're speaking of is catty corner to, I believe Miss Fidget, but this home, I believe, was Elizabeth Darnell. It may be her daughter that owns it. I know she has been in and out of prison, so.
That's fine. No, this is Tammy Perry and Dora Odom.
Oh, the daughter's name is on the home? Yeah. Okay, so, yeah,
Yes.
yes, Elizabeth Darnell.
That's not the house.
The 108 Magnolia is a yellow house?
Norma
Odom is the name on the house. Oh, I thought you said it was 108 Magnolia.
But Norma Odom, Darlene Odom was the owner. She's the one that passed away.
Oh, I don't know the mom's name. I'm just talking about the daughter.
What's the daughter's name?
Elizabeth Darnell
Tammy Perry.
is the, okay.
And like I said, if there's a lot of houses on there, you may be thinking about 103, not sure.
Oh, I don't know, they're both yellow, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know, anyways, thank you guys.
Thanks. That's, I think she talked about 113. Daughters.
yeah, there's 2 or 3 better, I think.
I-
There's one that's got a roof that's,
Yeah, that's Storm Massive Construction. I'm working with that also.
okay, there's one that's owned by somebody in England. Yeah, I think it's wrong, I think it's something different.
There's 2 or 3 of them that are in the process.
You know what I'm talking about, what's got the roof still this number.
This one,
That's a different one.
been an ongoing problem since 2017.
Gotcha.
I've been dealing
Property
with it for
John,
3 years now. And she does nothing to abate the problem.
Norma Odom.
What the registry,
That doesn't mean.
decide on this, the registry, what she decided. The registry, what she decided on this.
I can't hear.
Did the magistrate make a decision?
Yes, she has placed $50 a day fines on the house. And what I have done now, because of the ongoing problems and the condition of the house and the condition of the roof and stuff, I'm taking it for the BOA. I have to give a BOA, I have to give 120-day notice. That's running out in August. It will go before the BOA in August.
So they haven't given you an opinion.
Not yet, no, because that will be in August, first
August.
And they're probably gonna give you authorization to tear it down.
So just wanted us to be aware.
Actually,
No.
it's 2 actionable things. I didn't think about the second one, which is the actual budget for it, but, the foreclosure process is not a quick process. But that could happen at the same time as it's gonna be reviewed for Board of Adjustment, we permit the petition for foreclosure. For instance, if the city was to prevail, which I think, all the law suggests that we would, then the city could then also take ownership and it still not be demolished and whatever. Those are 2 separate actions. What Officer Griffin will be going to the board with in August, regardless of the actions today, is for it to be demolished. It's already been, and as he already does, as the LDR administrator that can put that forth, the Board of Adjustment can decide whether they'll demolish it or do nothing or clean it. What we're asking, which is very different than what I've done since I've been in this in this position is a petition to file foreclosure, whereas before, any demolished property, we just basically put the lien on the owners and say, you're supposed to pay us for all this work we did to demolish it. Whereas this is like, we would take over ownership of the property.
The neighborhood, John.
So that's what I was seeking council's instructions or authorization to do. Or at least there to be a decision about it based on what you've been provided.
So the house has got structural damage, I'm assuming.
It's been rotting from the inside out because of the horrific amount of garbage inside the house. And it was like that back when I was a patrol officer here. So I had to deal with the folks several times for warrants and attorneys about them. When his daughter was still alive, and it was an act right benefit.
Well, it's improved, it's not. I won't be sure tonight is down. So from garbage being on the inside of the home, this is because I don't know. It makes it rot down from the inside.
Yes. Cause there's rotting food and rotting material stuff inside the house. They got the structure inside the rock.
Is that a picture from today? Is that a picture from today? or-
We have pictures.
That's a recent picture,
Recently.
because the red notice on the window there is where I declared the house. And you can see that's the front door there, where you see that white basket hanging there, that's the front door.
I did have the wrong address. Just found it out there.
That roof on the left looks rough.
Right, well, so you're gonna say it's so right for 2 hurricanes, that's probably maybe. Oh, yeah, I'm just saying. It didn't help.
And of course, you all don't have to make a decision today, but if there's some more information you would want to help make a decision, and want to place it on another calendar after the August, but again, because of time, I thought, and based on the request about what are our options, that we can have both processes going at the same time. Because the Board of Adjustment will be the one deciding whether it should be demolished or not.
But it should wait on there. That's fine. Question. Wait on board adjustments. It's coming in August, right? That was your decision in August,
First Monday in August.
first Monday in August. Oh, I hate it for the neighbors that are around, but I gotta put it up with this that much longer, but. Like that would be the best, well, the fair state.
Even if they give me authorization to demo it, there's no money this year's budget for that amount to tear down. I've already gone through this year's budget for demos.
I know we increased
It
it.
would require an exception to the budget, so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much to tear that house down.
And this and after the Board of Adjustments looks at it. Maybe that's a budget time thing.
I like the foreclosure process just because it gets out of the dead person's name and maybe one day back on them. Somebody might want to build a house there one day.
Like I said, the neighborhood isn't, I didn't realize how close it was to a commercial area. It's just right there, such. It would improve the overall value of the property for the neighborhood. Okay, so we'll revisit this after the Board of Adjustments decide. Is that what I understand?
Yes.
And even if it's been cleaned up, as the realtor said, the Board of Adjustments will take that into consideration. Yeah.
I think we do.
Right. Well, I know they were working on one,
It's 113
on another
across the street and a little bit further south.
Ready. Appreciate you. Chris.
All right, thank you.
Agenda item F, council to discuss 1005 Jefferson Street tree. Council taking any means necessary. I asked this to be put on the agenda because everybody's gone worried about it, always panic, maybe they ever. See, everybody know what I'm talking about, that tree up on Jefferson Street over.
All the board going on.
What's the-
Yep.
I think the lightning hit it the other day. I think the lightning hit it the other day when that storm. I heard it and I rode by, I seen the bark on the ground, so I assumed the lightning had to hit it again. It's pretty bad, it's bad. It's bad.
Danielle called me yesterday and said she's meeting with somebody tomorrow about it.
Yes.
And speaking of public works, Daniel said that she's been in contact with the property owner, who said they're having an arborist tomorrow to come look at the property. But prior to that, I understood that there was acknowledgement that I needed to be removed, but there may be some holdup in the process regarding insurance. Again, just in preparation of today's meeting, I knew that address was familiar because it was on a recent code enforcement hearing in May, as a repeat violator dealing with the overgrown brush, and other issues of nuisance and hazard in the yard. And there's been no attempt to comply with some of the most simplest requests. So my biggest concern, even though she would be liable if something were to happen, but if the city, I notice that there is a nuisance that needs to be abated, that could be a serious hazard. It makes me concerned about whether or not you wanna use any type of police power to request or demand that it be removed expeditiously, and if not, that we remove it and charge it back to the owner. So because she's already in non-compliance with things including weeds and outgrowth, even though the tree was not a part of that argument, but is a part, I think, of the definition. I understand, but it's a part, it's the same property. It's the same property. My only point was that if you all feel that it's fine, that's fine. But if you wanted, because I think the question was, what could the city do? Not that you should do it. What could the city do? If you wanted to use nuisance abatement and give a short order for it to be resolved, you could, even if because of the cost, you would have to front the cost and then charge it back to the property owner. But if you feel that it's fine, and even if there may be some issue that you're comfortable with just letting the owner work it out the way the owner can, then, you know, that's also well within your rights.
Sure. If you mentioned to them about the FEMA money, what program was that? You told me about removing the trees.
I don't remember. What was this?
You gave me information.
Is any part of the tree on right of way, city right of way?
It's all on private property. When you look at the pictures
Yeah,
running north and south, it's 2 feet to the inside of the sidewalk.
okay.
Yeah, the limbs are hanging over.
Yes, so hanging over the power line.
Up in the front is, and
Yes,
Well, there's a lot of liability sitting there.
yes.
there it is.
It's not a lot.
Bruce is getting
Question.
There's have to be people who remove trees.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, has Duke Energy been contacted about it? What did they say about the tree?
I got them to come look, and that line only runs to a light, I think, so they said they weren't concerned about it.
And I also understand from Danielle in Public Works that if they need to, after the arborist looks at it, if they need to cut off temporarily so that it can be removed safely, they would. But that right now that they were not concerned.
Duke did say they would remove the line, or drop the line down for them while they're doing the work.
It was a concern, I'm sorry, I missed something.
I shouldn't say it wasn't concerned, because that's not the words that I was told, but that they had been contacted and they said they could turn it off. But it was described to me in partnership with the owner having an arborist supposedly coming tomorrow. But I don't have any verification, that's just what I understand that's what Daniel's been told.
What would be the cure? I mean, we obviously want the tree down, it's gonna kind of, the way it's leaning, the picture doesn't really show this, it's leaning towards Jefferson. If it's going, unless there's a severe wind going the other direction, if it's gonna fall, it's gonna hit Jefferson.
And I can tell you, there's more bark gone from that tree, because it was hit by lightning last week. There's more bark gone from that tree.
I think it has limbs on it now too.
Beetles are getting all over town.
They are. So should we just wait till tomorrow and?
They look like that, worse than people scared.
It gives 2 or more weeks before we make a decision. I would say she's not under contract to have to cut down by a date. That we go ahead and do what you described.
Get it
At
saved.
least an abatement.
Yeah.
I mean, the police could, I mean, it's under police power of home rule, and again, it's not to punish her, because apparently she would bring it down easily, I guess, if she could afford to possibly, but if the city, if we felt that it was that dangerous, the city could pay for it, and she would,
Charge
you
it
know, be
back,
held to reimburse.
charge it back every time or something on her bill or something like that. That's what I was thinking, because it wasn't my idea to punish anybody either, I'm just.
Well, I just wanted to say that, because it seemed
Yeah.
like people were concerned about punishment of some sort.
Yeah, we're not trying to punish her, we're just trying to get the tree down, 'cause like I said, people have gone from just concerned to full anxiety over this tree at this point.
I don't think,
Understandably so,
I don't think it's just the money either. I think she's struggling to find somebody to do it.
right?
Danielle told them we'll shut down Jefferson while they're working too. You're not gonna want people riding on that road while they're working.
Because I'm not a tree person, but I understand for people that are tree people, that one like that is tricky to cut down.
Well, as a
From the
person who
ground,
lost
yeah.
a family member to a fallen tree, that is nothing to, my brother lost his life at 39 because of a fallen tree. So it may not
Yeah.
look menacing, but it can really be menacing.
It was just helping somebody wasn't there or something, and just didn't go right, yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you all is there's a program that will help remove that tree. I just can't find information at this point. I gave the information to Raven, and they came to her and helped remove the trees. So that would help the landowner. If I could find this information, and you'll share it.
How long do you know how long it took to?
It didn't take long.
Wasn't
Raven might have that information.
Do you know if it was
If
attached
there's
to
any
the
that could help the landowner.
Do you know, if it was attached to a state agency? I was like, trying to-
Yeah. Church.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I said, the point is not to punish her or anything, like I said, it's not her fault, the tree had,
But it's
the tree died in her yard, it's just,
okay.
it's just bad luck, I mean.
So liability would, you know, it could be on her as much as it could be on us, so. If it would be helping her. to get it
Exactly.
down.
You're right, would be. So you wanna set up some kind of time limit on it, or, I mean, it's gonna come down on its own eventually. Just question when and how, where.
Every part.
Exactly. That's what,
Yeah.
that's why I brought this up, is one day this cracks and goes, who knows when. So what would be the pleasure of the council?
Miss Shirley, how long would it take you to find the?
That's what judge is free.
It's your first thing in the morning. April takes you.
Even if we did have a lower rate, so we have the city. 3%.
Sure. Is it just a FEMA group that does it?
It was a church.
Church group.
Church groups that do that, but that's not the one that was.
That's a really dangerous job right there.
That particular tree is definitely
Yeah, but they say any tree that's dying is really more dangerous than to try to take the life of that. I've been told that by people that would do that kind of work.
I think we all gonna agree that it needs to come down.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So John is gonna use fund.
So, uh,
I mean, we gotta fix, give me a date when we start looking for somebody.
What's the 23rd? What's the date? She's meeting with someone tomorrow, is that correct?
That's what she told Daniel.
7 days.
Works for me. If they doesn't,
Okay, with everyone, what week? I know.
it's not done next Wednesday, we'll find somebody to do it. Hopefully, I think that's the problem she's having, is finding somebody to take the job.
Well, those trees are dangerous. They are, that one's gonna be tricky right there by the road.
Well, if they tell them that Duke's willing to take the power line down, you're gonna close the road. That's gonna take a lot of, liability off of them. So that might change the price, and then the city pick up the debris. And that would save costs too.
Siri picked up some of those boys, Sean, I guess you sound like me or something. All right.
Take a vote on that.
We've already told her we'll pick up. Great.
Does the homeowner know that Duke will take the line down?
I don't know if
Yes,
Daniel
you
told her.
may.
Yeah, so they both.
Hey, any of the guys, there's like two guys in town that have a truck tall enough, you're gonna need the 100 footer to get to the top of it. I know Triple B and Leslie McKenzie both have a truck can reach the top. And it, being that the tree's already leaning out, the liability part of it is a lot less. If the power line's gone, it's not a complicated job for somebody with a truck tall enough just to get up there, cut it from the top down.
Yeah, was the road getting close on the road?
You start
too,
pumping it, it starts falling. And as long as no one's under it, it's not hurt enough. But that power line would have been a big deal. They need to know that the power line can be going, and I bet it'd be a pretty quick deal for them.
Say 7 days.
7 days, is that reasonable?
Do you take a
Anybody wanna
vote?
make a motion on that, or just wanna just
Do it.
just consensus?
So we can move forward with the nuisance abatement if we have to.
Yeah, she's gonna pay for it either way, so it's not affecting our budget or anything, just the timing.
We need
Plus,
to.
and the point's not trying to.
they give it months.
At least want to get the tree down, that's all anybody wants.
Definitely a hazard.
It is.
Raven sent that number over, it was Brandon's tree service, Jacob Brandon,
Yeah, he's the one that cut the road
that's who,
over on Bacon Street.
that's who Raven sent. I'll let the owner know then, too.
Should y'all take a vote on it? Within 7 days, or we can file a nuisance abatement?
We have to follow that.
We don't have to file it, but we have to provide notice, written notice, we don't have to file it.
Yeah, maybe I wanna make a motion, yeah.
7 days.
So someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume she wants the tree gone to start with, that's an assumption, man, I guess she's okay with being gone.
I think she wasn't too worried about it till here recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that she's okay with it being cut down.
Yeah.
So,
She could sign an agreement to allow us to do it.
okay. Then just charge it back to her so much a month or whatever, until it's, okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, but please use that, we'll go and get that already.
Got a business card.
Let's just
Yeah,
get that.
she should get them a call.
Councilmember Hampton, Raven, who is Raven? She works in the department. I'm sorry, I don't know her.
Brian, Trey Brian.
Brian,
And received a complaint, from Ms. Jones. That one of the trees was almost found over on her property.
okay,
And I think she had me with that bad trees. that they took down. Mhm. Yeah. Sometimes it is the way of letting things. Not being facetious, just.
So do we need a motion on this or just consensus before we go ahead and do it?
I'm doing my job either way.
I was asking for a vote since you've been discussing it, that you would, that we would give 7 days for the property owner to cure the situation, and if not, that we could step in.
If we don't set a date, it could get drawn out.
So next Wednesday. You're going into July?
We are. Next Wednesday was July 1st.
Okay. And again, it should be welcome, but she may just agree like, hey, if you can find someone, including the resource that Raven Bryant has. That'll help her. So is there a motion and a second?
You want care to make a motion?
It doesn't say it's in the end, so. That is for 7 days. Yes.
Danielle said he already gave her his number in Blasky.
Excuse me.
Danielle said she's already given her the number you're talking about and Blasky.
She didn't use. They give us, discount.
So a motion is. The tree needs to come down, but you are further.
Yeah, so city can step in with the nuisance abatement and do it themselves. That's all I was asking, because we have to provide notice, so that's why I was asking. Is there a second? So everyone agree?
Is that a motion? It's a motion, do we have a second? What's the motion for?
That the tree be taken down by July 1st. Or. I couldn't hear all she said, something about.
I was just saying the city can move in to remove the tree.
Okay, or the city can come in and do it.
Are we mailing this to her?
I would
She's
suggest
leaving
personally
because of
serving,
public-
it's been a very amicable situation with Public Works.
We got 2 conversations there.
I apologize.
Say probably.
I was suggesting personal service, and it's been a pretty amicable relationship between Public Works. Because they're working with her to try to, she's wanting to get it down.
I don't want to turn adversarial, we're just trying to help get the tree down. Hope that, so, yes, ma'am.
Mailing this to her. If not,
No.
she's not gonna get it.
No, be much better than whatever.
It's gonna be personally served,
Yeah.
but I think Public Works is gonna be out there tomorrow anyway with the arborists.
Sure.
Whose tree is it? Whose tree is it?
Her tree.
This lady lives on North. But,
It's
there's,
the back. It's still lives there.
I think it still is.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
That is somebody's.
I don't know, that used to be where she lived, I don't know if somebody else is there. It doesn't make any difference, who's
Yeah.
there.
You know it is.
She still lives there.
We were trying to copy the survey. I'd like to see it.
Survey
Yeah,
or deed?
how do you know
Nancy,
whether I'm a survey?
Look, I think Danielle measured it.
They measured it. Danielle went out and measured it. It's on her
Right
property.
away.
Yes, so it is on her property.
Not very far on her property, but it's on
Right,
her
not
property.
far. But it is on her property. So, Maya,
Sure.
Please,
y'all know we can buy
help us put an end to
He
this.
lives down there,
it.
so.
The last one was larger than that and it fell during Idalia. I don't know if any of you remember it or not, but it fell. And it fell into Jefferson Street, same size tree. And the city, out of their right to do so, went and removed everything out of Jefferson Street for safety. And her part, they just, well, y'all did your job. Y'all did your job, because it was then on the sidewalk and on Jefferson Street blocking traffic, so on and so forth. And we had all those people that influenced all these workers coming from Idalia. Thank goodness it didn't fall off. And this tree is a bad situation, right? I won't walk under it.
We just don't know when.
You don't know when.
And.
Yeah, if you look at it from the north to the south, you can see it's in an angular. So if and when something happens, it's gonna be the root system that's gonna pull up I feel, out of the ground. If all the widow makers don't fall before that.
Your 12-inch asbestos mains right there too.
Yep.
We're trying to get replaced.
We talked this thing just about to death. I think we all agree that it needs to come down. There's 7 days, there's a motion on the table for. If it doesn't get cut in 7 days, the city's gonna step in and do it, just. Finance it back on their, utility bill. Over time. We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second? Second. Very good.
Councilor Bronze.
Yes.
Councilor Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. We're at agenda item 6G. Ordinance number 1061, introduction and first reading. Ordinance of the city council of the city of Taylor County, Florida. Regarding surplus lands. Authorizing conveyance of certain land. To the Taylor County School Board as a gift for public educational purposes. Reserving a utility easement to the city and providing an effective.
I thought we'd already done this.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk about something else at that topic, yeah.
We've approved it. We haven't done the actual
I
work.
did have a question on, though, who will be wind up paying for the legal work on that, so
Ray Curtis has been handling it so far.
I didn't hear,
Attorney Curtis has been handling it so far.
but who's paying for it? Does the school board pay for it, or we gotta pay for it, or?
Normally the fire pay, shouldn't be too much, I would think.
And what's a little bit different is that this request is also regarding the utility easement, which was not a part of the original discussion, only because the research that, that's come forth without getting onto the mire, as a part of it, right, John, that you are wanting to retain for a potential lift station. So that's just a small difference, but it's just one that was not included in the first.
You saying the legal fee to do that is a small difference to what?
No, I was just saying the action that you all agreed to was gifting the property. At one time, we thought it was like one property, but the same donor gave us more than one and gave it to the county too. And so in order for us to give it to the school board, we had to have agreement by the county, and upon further review, because one of the spaces would be perfect, if you look at the bottom of page 1, where it says that we will maintain a sewer lift station situated on the subject property, that added additional legal terminology that needed to be passed by us as well.
Is there any cost involved?
Yes,
That's the thing.
I,
Should be going a couple $100, I wouldn't think.
For the whole transaction.
So the things coming at you.
That's why we have it. As long as we ain't gotta sit here around one. I'm ready to be done with it.
We are now dealing with the county, the school board and the city, but it was supposed to be a gift. Now it's,
So the county has taken care of their part of the, that's I remember, I think it's already been taken care of.
I don't know, Ray's, you gotta read his emails, he's maneuvering through all of it. I'm just following what Ray told me.
we can follow up and get a cost to send to you all to that. I don't have that information and truly I can't say it's gonna be a few hundreds. I don't think it's gonna be exorbitant, but raise a little bit more than just a few hundred typically.
On page 3, you've got, city of Bear River reserves a perpetual, non-exclusive utility easement. Why is it non-exclusive? Why would it be exclusive?
I don't know why, and if there's a need for potential ability to share that utility easement with the county as well, because we both officially own it to
Do
give
they
it
have,
away.
do they have utilities on it now?
I'm not aware. We're asking for the easement for our water lift station. I don't believe the county had the same interest. The county didn't even know that they also co-owned it. So it's just seemed like the county's like, whatever you guys need to do to give the property to the school board, and we just tried to make it work. But we can get that answer to you. I'm not sure why non-exclusive.
I think that means if it was an exclusive utility agreement and Duke needed to run something or the cable company needed to run something, they'd have to ask us, because we would have the exclusive utility agreement. But it's just saying we have.
It's always non-exclusive.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we just don't have it exclusive right to the easement, they could easement, they could give easements to any.
Yep.
I was saying,
That's what it sounds like.
Why?
good question. Anyways, anybody else want to speak on it or have any comments on it? It's first reading, so it's gonna come back to us again. You, all right. Agenda item 6I, resolution 2026-23, budget amendment. GFA grant.
I think you skipped some.
Did?
Hey.
Top. Did. Agenda item 6H, ordinance number 1060, introduction and first reading of ordinance with road requirements. Just basically cleaning up long conversation we had at the last meeting.
Yes.
Any discussion on it? Anyone from the public? All right. That's gonna come back again in July. Now we'll move to agenda item 6I, resolution 2026-23, budget amendment, DFA grant. Resolution of the city council amending the budget of the city of Perry, Florida for the fiscal year October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026.
Chief Lee got a 50/50 grant for wildland gear. That's for
Bunker and one.
the 50/50 grant that Chief Lee got. We got to use the fund, city funds for half of it. For buffer gear. I think, was it for volunteers? Yeah. He's trying to get the volunteer program started back. That helps a lot with your isolated rankings. And technically have more people that can get this structure fire. And we only made ISO 4 by, I think it was 0.07 last time. Then you gotta work on the ISO score so we don't fall off. And I hope to get to a ISO 3 one day.
Yeah.
But having the volunteer program will help a lot.
Motion, we have a second. Second.
Councilman Bronze?
Yep.
Councilman Hampton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry? Mayor Gibson?
Yes. Okay, agenda item 6K, approval of minutes, June 9th, 2026, regular session. Any great comments on the minutes?
Motion by the employee, yes.
Second.
We can say,
Councilman Bronze? Councilman Hampton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry? Mayor Gibson?
yes. John, anything?
I won't be here to the next meeting. Florida Commerce sent us an email. Everybody that received the CDBG DR grant has to have a representative at a 3-day, 24-hour fraud prevention training in Orlando. I'd much rather be here than sitting through 24 hours of that. I will be in Orlando Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Thank you. Do you have anything?
No, sir. You better put somebody to phone and tell her.
That ain't gonna be fun.
James? No. Sam?
Yes. City manager's evaluation. Which was due in February. It is our responsibility. To do this evaluation and we're still due 2 evaluations that has not been received yet. You'll look on the form. City manager's performance evaluation. Computer. I'm gonna ask you to read it. I'm 1 and 2.
Right, under evaluation procedure,
Okay, yeah.
number one, the city manager will inform the mayor when the time for annual evaluation, time for the evaluation has occurred. Number two, the mayor will ask city council members to complete the evaluation form prior to an evaluation session. I turn around and think about all here. You can keep it up. Yeah, I guess yours is turning in, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I do, I'm responsible. That was not a, I guess it was. So,
All right, Ken.
but what I'm saying is that we have to take this seriously. This is one of our main duties. And still lacking 2 evaluations. Bill, have you submitted yours? You want?
Yes, ma'am.
So we can discuss it next meeting while he's not here.
Great time.
Oh, wow, that would be.
I've already met Jeff. That is clear, but we still have to,
So Benita's the only one that hadn't submitted.
is it true?
Bill said he had.
No, Bill, you have.
You hadn't turned yours in yet. Well, get on the ball with y'all.
Okay. And hopefully.
It's tough.
Let's do. Next year, hopefully we're going.
Make a decision.
Well, we-
Situation.
Well, we plan on going over on the second meeting in July, see beer to defend yourself.
I'll do beer.
And, at work. The July,
28th. Huh? The 14th was Tuesday.
the way I've been going tonight, I need to look at the 28th is correct.
Did order 3 button-up shirts. I'm gonna try it out.
Us.
Both-
Got the name and everything on it.
No, they're just plain blue, blue and then a little white paint on. Pretty. But Matt Shirley, they came in on time.
All right, so we're gonna do the evaluation on about a month now, on 28. This job evaluation.
Let's say, let's say.
Yeah, I was late,
But
as some of it then, but yes, 5 months would be.
I had planned to ask council to change the meeting date that's been done. You're having the five cameras placed, I mentioned that's done. Bad guns at Lockbridge. Understand we had an incident that could have cost the city some money. And we taken care of that. Are you not aware of it?
Yes, I'm aware of it.
Huh?
Yes, I'm aware of it.
You are aware of it?
Okay, so
The ceiling, bathroom, and the building, inside the building. Fell down.
one of these panels, yeah, I mean,
Someone was in there, a child that could have caused a problem.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I said, if we need to get this, has that been replaced or what?
I'm not sure. I'll check on
Please,
In the bathroom, you said?
yes. Not only that, I actually maybe 2 months ago. I just repaired the leg. And I heard you say we were waiting on the grant.
it. Yeah, but for that grant,
Okay.
should know about them next week.
Okay. Now on Sundays, when we rent the building on Sundays, we're not having the locks changed. You know, if someone rents it on a Saturday, then you have someone else coming in on a Sunday, and they can't get in the building because they don't have the information.
The code should be the same on the lockbox.
So if they didn't have the information and couldn't get in.
Well, they're supposed to call up here and get a code. When they pay it in full, they get a code for the lockbox.
Or anyway, whatever it is you have to, they need to do, they couldn't get in. Okay. And Bruce,
Griffin? Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Parker Street. On Chamber, Parker Street
Parker.
is, there's 2 homes on that street that in my opinion needs to come.
You have the address,
At the end,
which
the end.
is the dead end by the old sawmill.
Yeah, one runs into Short Street. And the other is at the dead
The ones on the right.
end. It looks bad and they're asking for it.
I'll give it information to it.
Okay, also I asked someone to come to my home. I can't get in my backyard because of overgrown trees from properties. And I was told that there's nothing we could do about it because this city,
If it falls on your property, you're responsible, no matter where it comes from.
said, right,
If it falls on your property,
okay, this is not falling, it's leaning.
okay,
This just ain't this tree.
anything that's on your side of the property line is your responsibility.
It's not on my side.
Okay, so
I
what,
was told that you all can't do anything about it.
no, that's not a criminal thing.
Criminal,
Yeah.
code enforcement, Jamie.
Code enforcement's not gonna make somebody that has a tree leaning over. As you said, it's not even leaning onto your property.
Well, could someone come out and look at it, please?
Sure. Which side of the house?
If you come out and look, You'll understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Which side of the house?
Backside, I cannot get my back way.
Okay.
I was told that, if the property has not been developed.
Oh, you're talking about that lot beside you.
Yes.
So it's an open lot with no structure on it. And in the past, the council had directions for the city not to clean that property because it was not developed. So this is a policy decision by the council. Are we gonna start cleaning vacant, unimproved property that doesn't have structures on it or not? So that's what the problem is.
The problem is that we quit doing our job.
Now, ma'am, we're following
We
council.
quit doing our job. All these properties were cleared at one time. And the policy that you're speaking of, I never saw.
There
I
are
would
policies.
love to, could you bring it back in the next meeting?
There are policies that exist, that have been there for a long
I
time.
wanna see them. And I need someone to come out and check.
So this is something that y'all can change as a council.
And I wanna see a policy that says that we couldn't do it.
April's gonna find.
I appreciate it. Because I don't recall this. Everything is overgrown now because we quit doing what we used to do.
I believe Barney
We clean
Johnson,
up- We clean up properties, then we don't clean it.
I believe Barney Johnson was still public works director when that was decided. So that's several years ago.
I don't recall that. I'm back to see if I can. I know the city was much cleaner. People, they complied with their office. And now everything's up front.
And that's a public works issue as well, because we had enough staff in the past to do the extra maintenance.
Yeah.
Danielle doesn't have that staff now.
It's still our job.
Yes, ma'am.
It is up to us to keep the city clean. It's like we will get money to demolish homes, we get find things, clean up these properties that we own.
And you as the council can make those decisions and make that money happen.
Right.
Sure, is this city-owned property, is this non-city owned, this property owned
I
property?
thought it was city owned at first. I thought it was an easement. So I don't know.
I don't think it is. I think it's private property.
Sure, as anything else.
I'm good.
It's Landry. Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill, you have anything you wanna talk about?
You find it though.
Anything you wanna talk
North
about?
of her.
Easement.
Yeah, it's private.
All right, thank y'all.
I know they're all, but I thought the city was gonna take. Almost everything.
Things that had, I think we should close the road.